Merhaba, hoş geldiniz. Özlem from Özlem's Turkish Table. Today we are making a lovely, light, delicious dessert called Revani. Semolina sponge cake it is, and in a light, zesty syrup. And my version tends to be lighter than how it's made at home. And for that, let's go through the ingredients together. I have 3 eggs, medium eggs. I have 200 grams of sugar, regular caster sugar. I have 225 grams of whole milk yogurt, preferably, or you can opt to skim yogurt or yogurt of your choice. We have 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I will have 3 tablespoonfuls of all-purpose plain flour, 165 grams of coarse semolina, a zest of lemon, juice of half lemon. I will use 2 teaspoonfuls of vanilla extract. And as you see, it is a lovely, light, delicious sponge cake, and it's really actually easy to make. So I'll have 3 eggs here and my 200 grams of sugar here, and I will beat the sugar and the egg together. You can do that in your food processor if you prefer that. It's sort of like making sure eggs and sugar blended well together, that they are smooth and they're all blended well. It is such a lovely light sponge cake, and with Ramadan coming up too, it could be a nice option to serve. Right, everything is now mixed and blended well. Now we'll be adding our other ingredients. So I have here the 225 grams of whole milk yogurt or yogurt of your choice. I have 165 grams of coarse semolina. You can get coarse semolina in Middle Eastern, Turkish supermarkets. Some of the supermarkets carry too. If you can't, you can get the finer version of semolina. That would work too. Though coarse semolina makes it grainy and really nice. As the ratio here more on the semolina side rather than the flour side, it makes it really nice and light. And I added the flour, 3 tablespoonfuls, and now I added 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and I will add 3 tablespoonfuls of either light olive oil or groundnut oil would work, which is mild and light. Wonderful. And I also here I already placed ahead of time 1 tablespoonful of light groundnut oil, or you can use light olive oil. Now we'll be giving everything a nice gentle mix, making sure everything is blended well. As I said, you could do this mixture if you like in your food processor, but make sure don't overbeat it. Just nicely fold and blend everything well. Such an easy yet delicious light sponge cake. Very popular in my homeland Turkey, as well as in the Middle Eastern countries and Eastern Mediterranean. Right, so I'm gonna fold in more and make sure everything is blended well, but let's also make sure we add our half of lemon juice. I have some lovely zest of 1 lemon, and I will add 2 teaspoonfuls of vanilla extract. 1, 2, lovely. You'll see the variations of Revani all around around Middle East and, you know, Eastern Mediterranean countries, some folks like to add orange zest and orange juice rather than lemon juice. That is a lovely variation. Some folks like to add rose water, drops of rose water rather than vanilla extract. That would be lovely too. But the yogurt and semolina makes it so light. Perfect. So we got all mixed and blended well. Make sure. Smells really good. And as I said before, I already put 1 tablespoonful of olive oil, light olive oil or groundnut oil you can use, in my baking dish, and I preheated my oven to 180 degrees or 350 Fahrenheit. And now I will put this lovely mixture, it smells amazing, to my baking dish, and it will be baked in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes, 180 degrees, 350 Fahrenheit. Wonderful. Right, so now our Revani sponge cake now ready to go into the oven. And in the meantime, I will take out the one I just baked. I'd love to show you that one. Ooh, that's lovely. So that's the one just came out of the oven while I put my other one in. Wonderful. Wonderful. And so our semolina sponge cake is ready, and I made a lovely light syrup ahead of time because the syrup needs to be cold, whereas Revani cake needs to be piping hot, so that the semolina sponge cake would really take it in all that lovely lovely syrup. And it's a very easy syrup. It has 300 grams of sugar and 360 ml of water and juice of half a lemon. And the way I made the syrup was, I put the sugar and the water in a small saucepan, stirred well, and bring to the boil. And once it's boiling, I turn the heat to the low heat and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And then I added my juice of lemon in it. The lemon juice not only gives a lovely refreshing flavor, but also it thickens the syrup very well. I made my syrup a day ahead of time. You could do that too, as long as it is cold. When your syrup is cold, when the Revani is out, that's all it matters. But just to ease the process, you can prepare your syrup ahead of time. And if you now come and have a near look, the syrup is already mostly taken in, soaked in. It's amazing. So within 5 minutes, all the syrup will be gone. And once it takes all the syrup in, you can slice and serve room temperature or cold. And it's always nice to put some desiccated coconut over the top to decorate. You can also decorate with ground pistachio or any of the ground nuts of your choice. And then you can slice and serve your beautiful Revani. Once you make Revani, it keeps in the airtight container in a cold sort of room temperature, cool area, good 3 or even 4 days. And it's a lovely dessert to serve after your meals as part of a tea ritual, or if you're observing Ramadan when you break the fast. I hope you enjoy this easy recipe. It's at my cookery book, Özlem's Turkish Table, and also at my blog, the same name, Özlem's Turkish Table. Many thanks for joining us, and afiyet olsun.